it's certainly not what the defense wanted to happen. The judge believes the 9-year-old driving this big old van was dangerous enough to warrant a felony, and so this appears headed for a jury.
He made a very serious mistake, and he's the first to admit that.
Anxiously sitting next to his attorneys, Sean Weimer wondered if he would face a felony charge of child abuse. His own defense attorneys agree it was wrong for the Brownstown Township man to let his 9-year-old daughter drive his full-size van on a public road. But they argue that the girl who had to use a booster seat to see over the wheel was a pretty good driver. And it wasn't like it was rush hour at 2:45 that early Saturday morning.
Did you use your turn signals when you were driving?
Yes.
Did you stay in your lanes when you were driving?
Yes.
The defense correctly points out that the witnesses testified that was driving appropriately, not swerving, exceeding the speed limit, or failing to stop.
But the judge said they were just fortunate that Weimer's 9-year-old daughter was not in a wreck as she drove to the gas station and then headed back home with Weimer in the passenger seat. You may remember on surveillance video, Weimer says he's drunk and calls his daughter his designated driver. Both sides presented their cases when the preliminary exam began last week, and today Judge McNally ruled that the felony charge of second-degree child abuse would stick. So Weimer will now face trial in circuit court on that felony and 2 misdemeanors, including allowing an unlicensed person to drive.
She was not confronted with traffic or other circumstances such as pedestrians or animals in the roadway, which might have required evasive action.
Weimer's defense attorneys say they just hope his 9-year-old daughter does not have to testify again.
Our object here is to avoid any further trauma to this child, and we certainly hope that the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office shares that view.
And Sean Weimer remains free on bond, and prosecutors say that his daughter is a witness in this case and could again be called to the stand to testify against her father. Reporting live in Woodhaven, Kimberly Craig, Channel 7 Action News. Joanne, back to you.
Kim, it's such a sad story. We know that he's had visitation with his daughter. Do we know if that's going to continue now that he's been bound over for the trial?
That will continue 3 hours a week. Now, it is supervised visitation at Child Protective Services, and the judge told him that he could not talk to his daughter about the case.
Interesting. Thank you, Kim.